Je vais juste commencer comme ça, mais dans un mode un peu express, juste pour donner un peu le ton. Je m'appelle Christophe Villot. Et la première question est, quel est votre métier? Maintenant, on va passer à Giovanni. Giovanni, est-ce que tu es avec nous? Ah, je pense qu'il dort. Je pense qu'il dort. Non, il dort pas? Ah oui, OK.
No? Accurate is a design studio.
Attends un peu, Giovanni. OK. Ah, il s'est rendormi. Donc, Giovanni, quel est ton métier?
First of all, thank you, Chris, for inviting me here. And it's a pleasure to be virtually here with you. I'm Giovanni Magni. I'm a database designer at Accurate in Milano. Accurate is a design studio, a data-driven design studio based in Milano, founded in 2011 here. We have two offices, one in Milano, one in New York, and the studio has been founded and is led by Giorgia Lupi, whom you might know. And we have, as I said, we have two studios, one in Milano, one in New York. The whole team is basically in Milano. In New York, we have Giorgia and Gabriele, and we have this second office make to work with American clients. And the picture that you can see in the slides are related to the office here in Milano, the office that Chris has the privilege to visit last summer with me when he came to Italy. And as you can see, there are many people. We are a team of 35 people divided into two big departments of developers and designers. While the developers are various in terms of what they do, we have front-end, back-end, and full stack developers. The designers are also divided into three different areas of design. So we have the visual designers, we have the user experience design, and we have the database designer. Why we have these three different areas? It's basically because we have project that in 2018, the digital products and any kind of products are require different skills in order to make a proper user experience and a proper project. So it's crucial to have to consider the experience, the visual design, the database. We are not thinking about just visual models in terms of representation of data, but we have to consider the interaction for of the user with the application and any other field of design related to digital products. Accurate work with a lot of different typologies of clients. We work with financial institutions, we work with non-profit organizations, we work with startups or tech companies such as Google, IBM, Microsoft, and companies like this. And since we deal with these different typologies of clients, we also deal with different typologies of media. So we mainly do digital products in terms of website application, web application, and any kind of digital products, but also physical and editorial projects. So we also deal with print, with paper, and later, and in the last years, we also deal with physical visualization. An example of this kind of physical visualization is the one that I put into the slide that maybe Chris is going to show you. It's a project that
I will show you. So that was Giovanni. Thank you. We can see the picture of his studio, and yes, I had the chance to visit it in Milano. Ah, tiens, Giovanni. T'es encore là, Giovanni? Non, mais là, embarquez avec moi. Là, c'est comme live, là, c'est un peu comme live. OK. Donc, Giovanni va nous présenter un des projets sur lesquels il a travaillé. Donc, il nous disait tout à l'heure qu'il travaille sur des projets qui sont autant sur le papier que sur le web, que sur le physique. Donc là, maintenant, il va nous expliquer un des projets physiques.
It's a project that we made this year and has been released and published in September, October. And basically, it's a work that we made with Starbucks. Actually, Starbucks this year decided to open the first store in Italy. And it's a particular story because the Starbucks actually, the founder of Starbucks decided to create this culture of coffee after a trip in Italy. So like 30 years ago, he came in Italy and he got fascinated by the Italian culture of coffee and bars and the relationship between the owner of the coffee bars and the clients. So he decided to bring this kind of culture within Starbucks. So the idea is that they opened the first Starbucks in Italy, and it's not a common store, even if they are going to open a lot of other stores. But this one is a roastery. A roastery is a kind of a special store. They have one in Shanghai, one in Seattle, and now one in Milano. I think they're going to open one in New York and one in Chicago in the next year, but these are the three that are already available. And in this store, the asked us to make a wall, basically, so to cover a wall 20 meters long for 10 meters high, made in brass, so panels of brass, and to create a visualization that represents the story and the environment and the culture of Starbucks. So we create this visualization based on three levels and three layers. One is basically the history of Starbucks, so a timeline of the milestones and the steps that bring Starbucks from the starting point to what it is right now. A second layer is a geographical abstraction of basically where Starbucks is in the world, and a third level is dedicated to the actual typologies of coffee that are served in Starbucks. The reason why I bring this project here in this presentation is because I guess that within the audience there will be a lot of people working with D3, with JavaScript, or stuff like this. So maybe bringing something more physical, different than digital products would be interesting in this case. And this project was a bit of a challenge for us. Actually, it was the first time that we had to deal with something so big in terms of sizes, literal sizes, physical sizes, and also in a material, the brass, that it's not so common in terms of material to work with. So, and also the challenge was being able to work with a product that you never worked before, in a sizes that you can't check. Actually, you never have the wall in front of you with the right material, with the correct sizes. So it's a matter of test, of draft. And also we decided after building the wall to create an application, so a mobile application with augmented reality. And actually right now the users, the clients can get into Starbucks, which is in the center of Milano, in an historical building, to get in, download the app, look at the wall, and just pointing the phone to learn more about Starbucks, to see video, to get additional information, and that, of course, on a piece of almost data art, as it is the wall right now, is not possible to get much more information on that. So the mobile application allowed the user to get more, to understand, to study the fund, to see video, understand more about coffee, how it's harvested, and stuff like this.
Thank you, Giovanni. Giovanni.
Okay, I started studying communication design here in Milano and graphic design at the Lucca School of Arts in Belgium. And in the last year of university here in Italy, actually my last course, the most important one and the biggest one, is the one that created by Professor Paolo Ciuccarelli. So I attended this course led by him and by the Density Design Research Lab. Some of the people in the meetup may know the research lab. And basically the idea is that in that course you study complex phenomena and controversies in the web and in society through the use of data visualization. So you use visualization to analyze, visually represent the subject that you are studying. So that was the first touching point for me with the data visualization. So I got passionate about. I really liked the idea of representing data and create this representation of the issue of the subject. So I started working on that. I had the chance to work on my thesis within the Density Design Research Lab. So for almost a year, I collaborated with them on a couple of projects while writing my thesis. And after that, I tried to work a bit as a freelancer. So I made almost a year working mainly with the statistical division of the municipality of Milano, of the city of Milano, working mainly with demographic data and information coming from the citizens. And after that, in 2014, I actually got into Accurate. And actually, it's 4 years now almost. And my role within Accurate actually changed year by year. I am a data visualization designer. So my job is basically to create the visual models able to represent data, to tell stories, to make the data explorable. I came here as an intern. Year by year, I've increased my skills and my experiences. So I became a senior data visualization designer, and right now I'm taking care of the database team here. Also, since Accurate has a kind of a particular structure, in this case, particular structure for a typical agency in Milano, we are a design studio, but we don't have project managers. We strongly believe that the designers have to be direct contact with the clients. So the senior designers here have also the responsibility to take care of the quality of the project, but also about the communication with the clients and the satisfaction of the clients, and to take responsibility about the right accomplishment of each project that they follow. So right now, my role here is not only as a database designer, so I study, of course, and I design the visual models, but also I take care of projects and I deal with the clients, which is super important because I can actually get in touch directly with the needs of the clients. So I can basically discuss with the clients, understand their needs, understand what's working and what's not working in the projects, and also in some cases defend my own choices, my own design choices, so which is really important. And so this is what changes a bit in my role during the years. I'm basically still a data visualization designer with a bit of responsibility in terms of management and project management, let's say. Yeah, we actually have super different and various backgrounds here. The designer mostly come from a couple of universities that we know and that we rely on a lot. Basically, the data visualization designer comes a lot from the Density Design Research Lab, which is actually probably the better school in Italy for data visualization, even if it's not specialized in data visualization. It's not a course for data visualization, but somehow working a lot with database. A lot of people coming from that course actually decide to work on visualization. But the most interesting thing is that for the developers, for instance, we have people coming from the study of music. We have people coming from biochemistry, for physics. We have creative coders, and we actually include the developers in the design process from the beginning. So we always have these teams or projects where we have different backgrounds. And this is super important because actually they bring this kind of variety, brings a lot of different point of view on any kind of subject. So sometimes it happens that the developer is the most expert profile in a certain project. Sometimes the idea comes from the developers. Sometimes even the design ideas come from them. Sometimes we have designers expert in typography, maybe. Sometimes we have somebody expert in machine learning, so they are better suited for different projects. So, as you said, the variety of backgrounds here in Accurate is something really, really important.
Thank you, Giovanni. Giovanni aurait aussi des choses à dire, mais pour respecter le timing, parce que Viz Montréal, on fait notre réputation sur le timing, et on veut finir à 8h15. Pour lui, ce qu'il considère, c'est le design. Donc, il ne faut pas penser le design comme de l'esthétique. Il faut penser le design comme solutionner un problème pour des gens. Donc, son conseil à lui, parce qu'on s'en est parlé bien sûr, un jour, c'est de vraiment faire des vrais projets, régler des vrais problèmes pour des gens. Ça ne sert à rien d'apprendre. De toute façon, ça s'apprend très mal dans les livres. Les choses qu'on apprend se reproduisent très mal dans l'industrie, les problèmes qui sont intéressants, c'est les problèmes qui sont très spécifiques à des gens. Donc, régler des vrais problèmes de design, régler des problèmes pour des gens.
My advice in this case, I believe that in the audience tonight, there are a lot of people coming from different fields. So not specifically data visualization designer, but probably also people in different fields that are using database in their daily job. And my personal advice in this case is to consider data visualization as a matter of design. And what I mean with a matter of design, I mean that we should not consider data visualization as a matter of aesthetic. We're not making things beautiful, even if the aesthetic part of each project is super important. In design project is fundamental, the aesthetic part, but we are not making things beautiful. We are making things right and working. We are solving problems. We are designers, so we are solving problems basically, and our problems are related with the representation of data. So we have always to consider that there is a problem and we have to solve it. And this does not mean that we have to create something super complex or super rich in terms of visually super rich, but we have to create something correct, something right for the context that we are in. This is a mistake that I used to make in my first years of career, and I was trying to make something beautiful in terms of complex. Let's look for complex, and they're gonna like it. But this is not the point. We have to find the right chart, even if complex could be complex, of course. And we have to find the right chart for the right context, and to have to make data accessible, explorable, and readable and clear, which does not mean simple. Sometimes the reality that you are representing is complex, so it's okay to have complex visualization, but you have to make it clear. And the second advice and the last advice I can give is to work on projects directly a lot. Try, test, make draft, work a lot. And it's only by experience, by making mistakes and making projects that you can actually understand and increase your skill in this field. So we can discuss a lot about all the academics part of this field, of this discipline. We can talk for days on Twitter about this, but the only way to get better in this job is to make projects. So try, work, learn from the experts, and try on project directly, work on that again and again.